1 minute late. Yes, peace. Today is 1st of May, 2021. It is workers' holiday, 1st May. People who work, instead of making money from working people, but working themselves. All people who work intellectually, mentally, or manually, peace be with you. I hope you will get the value of your work instead of being stolen by banks, by bosses, corporations. I hope that we could have a more just world. Hopefully we'll have it. Okay, we have today, of course, I am doing all of these things. I am not organizing well. I'm just last minute sending invitation to people. But what we are going to do, hopefully, this program every Saturday, GMT time, not necessarily London time, because London time is changing depending on summer or winter. But learn about GMT time, check Google GMT time. And every Saturday at 19 p.m. GMT time, we are going to have English live program. The title is Islamic Reform, means peacemaking reform, but we'll be talking about what? About freedoms, about human rights, about justice, about peace, about sciences, about technology, and their influence on us, the relation. Therefore, every topic we'll be able to discuss here. It is basically philosophical channel. We are here, we are going to debate, vigorous debate on any topic. We don't have taboos here. We don't have sacred cows. We sacrifice cows. We skin them. We slaughter them, we skin them, we chop them, and we barbecue them. Therefore, anyone is invited here. If you are a Sunni, you are welcome. If you are a Catholic, you are welcome. If you are Protestant or Shiite or Hindu or a Jew or an atheist or a deist, agnostic, or a lost person, doesn't matter. You are welcome here as long as we are committed to use the language, universal language, which is logic. Therefore, as long as I don't expect everyone to talk logically, because we are infected with fallacies, viruses, with dogmas, but at least the attempt, initial decision, yes, we are here, we'll communicate with logic. If you show me that my ideas, my thesis is wrong based on facts or logic, then I should be accepting your criticism and thanking you for correcting. Therefore, here we come from different perspectives, but our common language is logic, facts, reason, and science. Therefore, please let people know, especially those who behind us, say those Quranists, those who are rational monotheists, those who are Muslims, those who reject Sunni religion or Shiite religion or Christian religion, they are kind of heretics. Don't listen to them. Please tell them they are also invited here. I know they escape debates. Usually you see they are in their holy castles. They don't accept other people coming, but here our door is open. In a moment, about maybe 30 minutes, if you are on live chat, regardless your ethnicity, regardless of your religious or political position, you are going to be here. In fact, you can even cuss at me, not the guest, only me. You can say any word except obscenities. I have some aversion towards that if you don't use obscenities, but you can say any words about me. You can say Edip is a heretic, is a zindiq, is a murtad, an apostate. He is wrong. He's going to hell and stuff. Whatever you want to say, no problem. You can say it. But hopefully we'll have a good conversation, discussion. The world needs to learn the language of debate. Therefore, since I'm a philosopher and I'm a street philosopher at Satan, I teach in classes. I would love that all of us here will engage. There is no fear. You should not be afraid to express your feelings, your ideas. Absolutely no taboo. In my classes, I try to establish this. It's not easy. My students initially are scared. They are scared from me. Oh, this is guy. I said, no, don't call me professor. Call me Edip. And then I said, but I warn you, here there is no sacred cows. Everything will be questioned. If I see that you are defending the angels, I will be devil's advocate. You are defending a devil, I will be the angel's advocate. Here we'll try to understand issues. And then with time, what happens, my student, after a while, they understand there is honesty in this class. And there is no prejudice. There is a good debate. It's open. And some of them opens up. Some of the racist students, they would outside would never claim to be racist. In the class, some of them in the classroom, sometimes after the class come to me. In fact, I remember one of my best students in logic class, which is logic is listed as high mathematics, symbolic logic I teach. He came after, he was the best so far. He was a little bit older, about 26, 27 years old. He had given some rest time after high school, perhaps. But he came to me, he told me that he was a white supremacist. And he considered me brown. But imagine, he showed that trust. He came to me, and I was giving him ride after the class. It was a late evening class, 3-hour class. And I would take him to his apartment about 3-4 miles from the university on my way. And I was giving him regardless. And then in the car, we continued talking and stuff. But recently I received an email from him. He has changed. He is now a good, righteous human being. He is no more racist, but he opened up. Therefore, you are welcome. And let's see who we have here. Oh, last week we had wonderful discussion with Annie Zonevald. I know I not pronouncing her last name pretty well. I will learn, I have to learn. Annie Zonevald. She is an activist, progressive Muslims. And there is on Facebook, they have a beautiful page, and also they have organization. And once a while, we'll invite some people. I want you to also reach people, invite them. For example, next time, invite Zakir Naik. Yes, Zakir Naik, that guy. That guy is kind of everywhere, talks about Islam, not Islam, in fact. He says Islam, and then he turns it 180 degrees around. He introduces Sunni religion. But the window dressing is Islam, good things about Islam. But I want to debate with him. If he's honest, I will say, hello, you are gaining victory against Christians. You are a good debater. Why you are escaping from me? Come over. If your religion is a good religion, you should be able to debate against Edip Yuksel too. Therefore, my invitation to him and many other Sunnis, especially Sunni. Why, Edip, you are picking on Sunnis? Because it is my background. They wanted to kill me. They killed my friend. And therefore, in that regard, I have something to say. I don't have animosity, hostility towards them. Only maybe few top who are very corrupt, very cruel. But for people who are Sunnis, I was a Sunni. I know their situation. I empathize with them. I want to live in peace with them. Therefore, but my invitation is because 57 countries on different continents Oh, by the way, let me show you guys too. I apologize. People do not see you now. On different continents, belonging to different ethnic groups, speaking different languages, 57 countries. They're all suffering from a disease, from a virus, because they are infected. Not COVID-19. COVID-19 is pandemic, is different. But they are infected with virus. They all backward. They all produce tyrants, corrupt leaders. They all behind in science, human rights. They all become oppressive, even if they are small. The father at home is the tyrant, is Pharaoh, little Pharaoh, against the mother, against children. When goes to work, he's become a slave of the boss. The boss become Pharaoh. And then the boss, another, is the slave of the upper boss, and goes all the way the top tyrant, the sultan, the king. He is the shepherd of all. He is the dictator, the pharaoh of all. But it is a hierarchy of oppression. To the below is a pharaoh, to the top is a slave. That mentality is the symptom of Sunni or Shiite religions. Therefore, you see these 57 countries suffering in hell. They have great resources, but instead of using their resources to create a just, free, happy society, they create just the opposite, an oppressive, repressive, misogynistic, unhappy societies. And therefore, we need to help each other to question dogmas, especially Hadith and Sunnah from Ibn Falan, from Abu Falan. They created volumes of lies, incredible, horrible dogmas and practices. We need to question, we need to change. Okay, welcome people, nice to see you. I have those people who are from different countries, please write your name. Oh, we have Senubar. Senubar, nice to see you. Hold on, everyone, I want to highlight Senubar. Senubar, where are you? Okay, aha, I love it. Okay, Senubar, I know her for more than 30 years. In Masjid Tucson, I met her, Senubar. She's a wonderful, resilient, mashallah, a Muslim, a peacemaker, a rational monotheist. And imagine 30 years ago, I told her old lady, she got very upset that time with me. She was much younger than me. And then because I told, in order to save her from another guy, a younger boy was kind of quarreling with her, hurting her feelings. I wanted to enter in between to save her. I told to that young man, leave this old lady alone. And then she stopped fighting that young man. She turned to me. How dare you call me old lady? I can't believe it. And now she is here, but now she is fine. She gets along with me well. Senubar, nice to see you. Do you know how to open your mic? I am asking you to open your microphone. I know you have a lot to say to me. Perhaps right now you are going to very...
There's maybe a button, Senubar.
Senubar, there is a button over there to open your microphone. Click on your microphone. Is it on the left side? She is using iPad. Anyway, when you are done, hold on, let me see. Okay.
Or Edip, maybe you can
It's like iPhone, you need to click on your phone and then the icons will show up and then mute and then you press.
Oh, click on your phone and icon. Anyway, Senubar, go to your neighbor, find a neighbor and help you to turn your microphone on. We don't hear you. Okay, everyone, welcome. If she's angry with me, I want her to say whatever she wants, hopefully. Okay, we have Jen Güneş from Los Angeles. We have Relim Usmanaj from Germany. Do you know Turkish, Relim?
No, just Nasılsın.
Aydar from Kazakhstan. Do you know Turkish? What kind of Kazakh you are? Turkish people think you are Turkish. And Ömer Faruk Kurt, yes, turn your phone sideways, please. Vertical is too narrow. Yeah, use the real estate. Good job. And then we have another lady here. Oh, Senubar. Senubar found, Senubar, okay. Talk.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I do hear you. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, nice to see you, Senubar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then we have Yusuf Al-Hadid. Al-Hadid means the iron. Yusuf, the Iron Man from UK. And he also doesn't know how to orient his phone vertical. Take it sideways.
Oh, you want it sideways? Let's have a look.
Yeah, sideways, you have the screen, better screen. Aha.
Is he doing it now? Yeah, that's a lot better as well.
From UK, Azmath from Connecticut. Azmath, open your face, please. Let's see you.
Hey everyone, hey, I'm actually driving right now, so
okay,
yeah, you can see my
no
face,
problem.
but I'm driving.
Yeah, drive safe.
Okay, from your name,
thank you.
I assume you are from Pakistan, correct? Or
Who, me? Who, me?
But he lives in the United States. I was talking about his origin. My origin comes from Turkey.
Oh yeah, I'm from India.
From where?
India.
India, okay. Yeah,
yep.
From far, they all belong to the same group. India, Pakistan,
yep.
Bangladesh, they are the same. Mushtaba Ruz, what is it? The rest of your name is now Ruzbahani. Oh, Mushtaba Ruzbahani. The last name sounds like Persian.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Mushtaba?
Sounds very Persian, that name.
Okay, sound maybe Persian. John Kandemir from UK. I am going to put his name after his name, right? UK, but he's Turkish origin. And
yeah, Mujtaba, talk, Mujtaba.
From London. Okay. And Veysel Demir. Yes, Mujtaba.
Yes, salam alaikum.
Alaikum.
Yeah, I'm from Sweden.
Sweden, he lives in Sweden.
Sweden, okay, you are in Sweden. And we have Veysel Demir. Veysel Demir is a Turkish guy. We have too many Turkish people here. God, it's not for you guys. This is for non-Turkish people, English-speaking people. But if you speak English well, you are welcome, as well as I do. Not better than I do, that's fine. Okay, the lowest common denominator. Now, here, people, the question for you guys. I ask each of you, if you, the one, the world, the other in so-called Muslim world, what is the major issue that we need to solve? And maybe issues, 2-3 of them, in Muslim world or in world in general. There are so many issues facing us. But I want to hear you guys, if you have different perception. Who would like to talk?
In the Muslim world, I'd say, well, in particular, the Arab world, but I guess a lot of it is synonymous with the Muslim world because of, you know, the shared Sunni faith and sectarianism. There's a lot of problems we deal with, in particular, corruption. In Arabic, they call it wasta. And in English, we call this nepotism, basically giving people jobs based on family relations and next of kin and cousins and things. This one, I don't think it necessarily stems from sectarianism or religion, but it's more so tribal culture in Middle Eastern countries and Muslim countries, be it in the Levantine countries like Syria, Jordan, Palestine, Saudi Arabia. Well, Saudi Arabia is Arabia, but those countries, or even all the way to Pakistan and Afghanistan. This issue is such a big issue.
Turkey too.
and Turkey too, you know, giving your son the head of the oil or the head of the gas or something like this thing. When wasta, when we look at if you look to Jordan as just like a petri dish, if you look at the British administration there, and now with the current administration, everything's fallen apart basically. Because here in the UK, for example, we don't have nepotism. It's really looked down upon. Sure, it exists in minute circles, but it's generally looked down upon, and we have departments even to look into it and to investigate it and deal with it, and within the police. In those countries, it's so embedded within the state. You can go for a job interview and they'll say, Jeeb Wasta, like, give me your Wasta. Who is your high profile cousin who is going to guarantee this job for you? Like somebody in the intelligence, somebody in the army, the police, even the president. Is he your cousin? And the way this works is, it's like a favor system. So say my cousin's the president of the country, and I go for a job in the council called the Amana, like the local council. The guy at the local council or the police or whatever, if he gets me in the job, the president, who's my cousin, now owes him a favor. This is the take back. This is why they do it. And the problem with this is the people without wasta, the people without, if you're not from a big family or have big connections, you basically don't have a chance at life. Like, even if you're really educated, became the best of your class in the university, you could be a master's, doctor or whatever, it doesn't matter so long as if somebody's got a connection, he's going to get the job that you deserved. And it's wrong really, and it's destroying the countries from the inside out.
You are absolutely right. Instead of hardworking people, talented people, people who put effort in a particular area, they pick the relatives, and it destroys the country. Mm-hmm. And absolutely, that's a beautiful point you raised. Anyone, what about this one? Instead of this question may lead to pessimism, I just share some a good news from your country and a bad news. Just this way, at least based on current news.
So some good news. It was some time ago, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but this has been going on in the Muslim countries, in particular the Arab world. So in Jordan, they repealed an old article in the law, in the constitution, called Article 308. This was basically a law that if a woman got raped within the country, she has to marry the rapist because she's no longer like a virgin and stuff like that. This is a really backwards, messed up law, and I think it dates back from the Ottoman time. I think they brought it to us, and it's never been repealed since. Tunisia as well have repealed this law now, as far as I'm aware. Egypt has now repealed this law. Things are looking good across the Muslim world in general. I think Turkey had a law like this once, if I'm not mistaken, but they might have got rid of it a long time ago. Is that right, Edip? I'm not quite sure about it.
I don't know.
Oh. But this is some good news in terms of women's rights, in terms of, basic rights. I mean, you shouldn't have to marry a rapist. I mean, can you imagine? Yeah, you've just had that and now you have to marry the guy. This is a good thing. This came about, I think, because of foreign NGOs as well as domestic intellectuals and stuff working towards this goal. And I think also which was quite nice, the royal family were in favor of this. The royal family there in general are progressives in the rights bit, in terms of women's rights and stuff. They're not perfect, but in that bit, they were in favor of it. So that was good. Things are changing slowly. Things are improving in those areas. But it's still a long way to go in terms of the society. So, for example, within the tribes, there's still a lot of backlog of we call it Qanun Ashira, which is tribal law. And the problem with the tribal law is this is from before Islam, and still now. Before Islam, they used to bury kids in the desert if it was a girl, out of shame. Oh, I had a girl, I want a son to carry my name, and a son is a better thing, kind of thing. And these days they don't. In culture, it doesn't happen like that. But this has long gone since the introduction of Islam. But these days in Arab countries, Muslim countries, like my father, I'm the eldest son, but I have an older sister than me. Instead of saying, oh, you're the like they say Abu Yusuf, they don't say Abu Sabriya, because the son is more valuable in the family. This unfortunately still exists within our culture. I hope it gets phased out eventually. You know, women and men are equal in my opinion. But yeah, so things are looking good in terms of women's rights, but within the people, like the intelligentsia in Muslim countries and like the really high educated people who care about rights, care about free speech, it's very minute. It's a niche. The most people, because of the, you know, the education's a bit weak in Muslim countries, they're either not aware of these issues, or it's going to take some time before they are aware of it, and they'll be chasing it. But things are turning in a nice direction.
Okay,
thank you.
Beautiful. You said already something bad. That's good. Anyone else would like to share one good news and one bad news from your countries? First bad news, the other good news.
I just wanted to add to Yusuf, you know, like that thing that women marrying to their rapists comes from the traditions of the old Turkish culture, which is like probably maybe still in Kazakhstan too, you know, like you kidnap the girl that you wanted to marry, so their family doesn't have a right anymore, like an option, because people think. And I think that's the fundamental comes from the following their father's way, like how others did too, you know, like you say, like there's some like traditions in Arabic culture too, Turkish culture too. The only thing, you know, like we need to ask if it's the right behavior to do. Inshallah, God will give us the wisdom. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's probably the historical origin for it.
Anyone else?
Well, I think to answer your question, Edip, what is the biggest problem in the Muslim world? I would say, like, in general, rejection of the truth and believing in polytheism to set up partners with God, for example, religious authorities or imams, sheikhs, traditions, false law, additional laws, which mostly came from hadith literature and over-believing in hadith literature. And there's a question from Aida, and he asks, why does the Surah Al-Baqarah have such a name? Well, Aida, I would say that the Surah names were added in the original Quran, so there were no original Surah names. That's why. Yeah.
Okay. Instead of going to theology here, because I want to have this Saturday talk mostly on people's lives, that are experiences that relate to everyone, again, about what we live. And instead of discussing the meaning of some words in the Quran, we may, if we have debate on general issue with someone, of course, we may focus on some words. But here in this general discussion, I don't want to enter into theology, especially linguistics, discussing those issues. We should keep it for some debates, and also that one even should have some limitations. It is not easy for people to follow those arguments here.
Yeah.
So more geopolitics centered, this discussion.
Yes, it is about basically peacemaking, you know. Islam, the other issue is related to Iman. Iman means a person's trust in God, relation with God. Of course, we'll discuss those issues. But that time, we may have initially decide that issue. We may invite different parties to debate those issues. That's fine. If Aidar wants to discuss his marginal ideas, he is really marginal. He's recreating another language. He's, instead of Arabic now, Aidaric language he's creating. I love him. He's a very nice guy, but I think he's way beyond the red line. He's just But once in a while, he will find some good stuff, which is good. He's basically does not really see any border in his creativity regarding linguistics, but linguistics is not much creativity. It is set grammar and meaning out there. Okay. Anyone else would like to talk about good news and bad news in the country? Okay, I think we are going to finish it earlier, and there are a few people who would like to join us from chat, but I would love to receive your suggestion regarding panelists, and you could reach on my behalf to people, especially people who are interested with the message of freedom, justice, and peacemaking, and rational monotheism. And also you can convey my message to atheists, especially Dawkins. I had in the past invited him, but he asked for too much money, his agent, not himself.
25K.
95,000 I had rejected, but later I received a letter from someone who claimed to be working for him as an organizer. And then he said, what do you think about this date, this time? Is it good for you to debate with Dawkins? But I saw that mail 1 year after. It was too late. But I'm not sure whether he was really representing him. Anyway, this is, it is good. I think recently, I want to share with you something. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, I listened Michael Shermer's interview with Micky Sakata. His name Kaku? Let me find his name. Hold on. That was fascinating. Hold on. If I find it, I will share with you. Okay, here. Let me come here and I show you the screen. Okay, this is my Twitter, Turkish Twitter. English is 19org. Right now, I'm not active since my Turkish Twitter account was opened after 1 year after I filed lawsuit against Twitter. Within 2 days, they opened the account, but still, okay. I shared it a few days ago, maybe yesterday. Oh, by the way, I am having Thursday evening with the Turkish kids, age 6 and 12. I am talking with them, of course, not religion, about critical and creative thinking, about debating, finding solution and issues. We are having fun and singing, discussing, making ugly faces, good faces, quiet and making noise, all those things. They are basically, in order to have confidence. I know that in the Muslim world, the confidence of children are killed, their individuality and their questioning skills. Therefore, the title of it is Bilgecik, Little Philosopher. Her çocuk philosopher.
That's cute, that.
Every child is born as a philosopher. I do really believe that. We are all born questioning, curious kids, but our parents and so-called teachers and whoever they are, they each time punish us when we ask some so-called taboo questions. And then we learn questions are dangerous, especially some question about religion, nationalism. And then we become a herd, part of the herd. Therefore, I am working on that. Let me, okay, this one. Oh, I want to share with this one. Someone made, oh,
MashaAllah, Edip, you're leading the front line, huh?
Oh yeah, this again is zombies. And
What is the translation in
let
that?
me show you. This is my recent tweet. Oh, this one you should really
Like Salah ad-Din.
unbelievable. This guy was hired by Erdogan as Imam of Saint Sophia Church, which is recently converted to mosque, and he was the first Imam of it. And this guy is, oh my God, he is like ISIS. He is pro Sharia and stuff, very backward. And then he published some tweets, certain tweets that put Erdogan in difficulty, not because really disagreed with their position, but Erdogan thought it is a little bit ahead of their timing. They are timing about 2023 to bring Sharia and Khilafah and Sultanate, means sultanship, dictatorship to Turkey fully, kind of as an officially. Therefore, he was a little bit few days ahead of their policies.
Did he not get the memo?
Huh?
Did he miss the memo? The internal memo?
And yeah, he was a little bit, because they are right now almost there. But he was just few, maybe months ahead. And therefore, they changed his position. He resigned. But afterwards, this tweet is incredible. And this tweet, he has hundreds of thousands of followers in Turkey. Merak etmeyin, let me show you his things. This guy is 211,000 followers. He's graduate of Marmara Ilahiyat Theology School, supposedly Islam hukuku, means the law, Islamic law, which has nothing to Islam, enemy of Islam, Sunni Sharia. Anyway, this guy, he had this tweet. He was criticized by Turkish people who are not religious for getting money, because imams in Turkey, about 100,000 imams, they get just money for leading people in prayer. They get better money for many hardworking people. And some of them get even free residence next to mosque. 100,000 leeches, useless people. They don't contribute anything useful to the society, just the other way around, negative contribution. You go to a mosque, an ignorant person, you get out from the mosque more ignorant than you were before. They're basically promotion of ignorance and superstitions. And he writes this. He was criticized for working for money and stuff. Merak etmeyin, don't worry, ey gruh, all the kind of masses. Haram ettiğiniz vergilerinizden bana düşen hisseden hepinizi, the tax money that you kind of haram means prohibited me from. And of course, haram a kind of religious tradition, because atheists, deists, or rational monotheists like us, they said it is haram for you. It is prohibited for you to get our tax money for your backward religion. And he says haram, of course, exclamation in parentheses means I don't believe that it is haram. And he says, I am going to give you back the tax money that I got from you. I will give you back as a cotton tampon, something like that. Basically, what is innuendo? Everyone knows this one. This is when they kind of supposedly they wash people, the body, the corpse, when someone dies. These clergymen, they made up a rule that they need to clean it, wash it before they serve it to insects in the graveyard, correct? In the grave. And of course, it is a made up rule in order to make money. They made up rules, religious rules, to insert themselves people's life while they die, while they are born, and while they have wedding. Because these are the times people are very happy or upset, emotional. They give away a lot of money and they know how to make money. They are religious merchants. And they wash people after when they wash it, they put in their anus, they put some whatever I learned from them. I don't want to be washed by any of these. I want to be cremated or just thrown to to a grave. It is just stupid thing to wash a person before burying that person. But they made up this rule. But he is basically insulting them. He says, I will use the money that I got from your tax. I will buy cottons and I will insert in your back. That is the guy who was the imam. Thief, ugly. It's just disgusting. And this is atheist organization, Turkish atheist organization. And let me translate for you with Google. Let's see how it translates. As an association, we owe you a great thanks for your outstanding efforts in spreading and researching atheism. We wish you to continue like this. To Imam, Erdogan's friend. His father was my father's friend. I know his older brother. He was my friend too, from Sunni. You know, like Erdogan and all others, they were my former comrades. Okay, anyway, I want to go.
In a way, what's going on within our Muslim circles, the Sunni world of religious merchants?
Okay, hold on.
It's a bit like what the Catholic Church used to do with the pardon letters.
Exactly. Here it is, this one. I was going to tell you, I found it. Michael Shermer's interview with, how do you pronounce his name? Micky?
Where?
This one. Micky Kaku. Micky.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a Japanese name. It's a bit difficult, that one.
Okay, or Micky Kaku, I don't know. But I have watched some of his documentaries. He's very good. He speaks well and stuff. This guy, he's, Michael Shermer is an atheist. And I had debate with him, discussion with him in Running Like Zebras. You remember Aydar?
I think I've seen that.
Were you with us that time, Aydar? Were you in the United States that time or no?
When?
Asilbek Musin, when we made the documentary Running Like Zebras, we went to Los Angeles, Pasadena, to Skeptic Foundation. And Dr. Michael Sherman is the head of the Skeptic Foundation, the editor of Skeptic magazine, and he has written many books. Anyway, Michael Sherman is a skeptic and atheist, in fact, an atheist. He interviewed him, and here it is. This guy talked about string theory, 11 universes, dark matter, that matter that doesn't have any direct information. We don't have direct information, but indirectly, like bending the light and stuff. Bubbles in bubbles. He basically likened the universe to a bubble. We are on the membrane of the bubble, but bubbles are inside bubbles. And cats that are dead and alive simultaneously. Do you know Schrödinger's cat? Schrödinger's, how do you pronounce his name? I don't know.
Oh, Schrödinger, I think something.
Yeah, Schrödinger's cat. And he talked about the cat. Basically, the moment you look at it, but before you look at it, cat is equally alive and dead. The moment you look at it, it collapses to one of these modes and whether forms. But if you look at it, if it is dead, another live cat goes to in another universe, like a fork, like a river, continuous river, and then forks and forks. And then guess what? You talk about possibility Elvis Presley is alive in another universe. And this guy has written a book and all scientists applauding, not all, some scientists applauding, and everyone is talking about his book, God Formula.
How do you measure that with the scientific method, I wonder? How do you measure any of them? How would you measure any of that? Elvis Presley singing in another universe.
Speculation on little science. They got some science and then they speculate, and then on top speculation. And then I felt bad for skeptic Michael Shermer. And then I said, while listening to this one, Michael is a dead cat because he has book, Why People Believe in Weird Things. He was saying the weirdest things. Elvis Presley singing in another universe. And you should listen to this one. Here it is. It is here. And okay.
I think in terms of space, all anyone really needs to know is look up Werner von Braun as the founding father of NASA. That's a very interesting road to go down.
Okay, I'm going to close this one.
There's a saying, really, isn't there? Birds of a feather flock together.
I'm going to, yes, bird of feathers. I'm going to give the link to people watching this one. But if you don't know English, don't come, okay? Those who are in live chat, I'm going to give you right now the link, Zoom link. Not Zoom. Come on, hold on. Anyone would like to talk before we close this one? I have about maximum 10 minutes. 1 hour we are going to finish, hopefully.
I do have a question myself. Just a quick question that I'd like to touch on myself. So a friend of mine, me and he's actually here as well, Sam. We were looking over the mathematical research and your translation of the Quran as well, as I've been trying to read it as well in both in Arabic.
Where are you from, Ahmed?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't write it in my name as well. I'm from Egypt.
You are Egypt, okay. You are calling from Egypt?
I'm from Egypt, but I live in France currently.
You are living in France. Okay, nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. So I just have a question, well, a couple, but well, I can ask one and see how long it'll go. So I wanted to know something particular about the last two verses in Surah Tawbah, and how there's a chance that it's, from what I've learned, how there's a chance that it's contradicting and it's with the mathematical interpretations and the miracle.
One day I would like to dedicate this meeting to Code 19. That time I would like to discuss. But in briefly, I say the Quran is a word of God. Its preservation should be by God. And if the Quran is an outstanding, extraordinary book, its preservation also should not be normal like all other books. It should be also extraordinary. And in fact, the verse in the Quran that says, Inna nahnu nazzalna al-dhikra wa inna lahu lahafizun.
Yeah.
This very verse about we, indeed it is we that reveal this book, this zikr, this message, and it is we that who will preserve this. Therefore, 5 times emphasis on we, means God and his controllers, angels. Therefore, not you, not you, not you, not your ancestors, not your ancestors, not holy Ibni Falan, Abu Falan, Hazrat Falan. It is we are going to preserve it. That is so clear. Therefore, preservation of the Quran is not like any other book preserved in museums or on tablets, on caves, walls. No. If it was, yeah, so what? Someone could say, yeah, your God bragging about preserving this book, emphasizing his power. Well, so what? There are so many books preserved by people or by nature, and the Quran is preserved. Who cares? It's not something to get credit, to make it big deal out of it, but your book is making big deal out of it. Aha, because the preservation of the Quran is extraordinary. Itself is a miracle. Itself, it is self-preservation through mathematical code with error correction function. And therefore, mathematical structure of the Quran proved that despite, let me emphasize again, despite people, God preserved the Quran. There are some errors in today's manuscripts, and error correction function of this code is correcting them. Sometimes we find in oldest manuscripts that verifying, supporting the mathematical code. 100% we proved beyond doubt. We have two important proof for that the code predicted certain words, spelling of certain words. Two examples. It contradicted with today's manuscripts. In fact, it contradicts not only today's manuscripts, with hadiths, with 3 hadiths, and then we found some earliest manuscripts supporting the mathematical code, which they challenged. They said, provide only one example, not only dozens of examples. Therefore, scientifically proven. It's not only theoretical. Scientifically proven mathematical code preserve the Quran. And you will end up in two choices, Ahmed. One is God's testimony, God's chosen number 19 code, which is embedded in the Quran, from number of chapters to frequency of letters and words. God's number versus the number of the people. Which number? If you follow the crowd, God says you will be misled. But majority of so-called Muslims, they do not care about God's number, about mathematics, about proof. They follow the crowd. And your test will be that. You will be in a predicament. Two choice, which one you choose. The proof, mathematical proof, evidence, God's testimony, or people. And majority of people, unfortunately, choose the Quran because they really do not care about truth. They do not care about the Quran. They are lying. Throughout my experiences, 1986, 1st July 1986, it is my Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, which Quran revealed to me that night. I rejected Hadith and Sunnah, and then Quran, I was able to understand the Quran. From that night now, I am 100% sure through my hundreds, maybe thousands of debates with Sunnis and Shiites, they do not believe in the Quran, they are lying. They do not believe in God, they are lying. I have proven thousands of times. I say to them, here is the verses of the Quran. Here is God's word. What they say? What about Ibn Falan, Abu Falan? What about this big alim? Of course, exactly what the Quran says. When you recite to them God's ayah, God's verses, they do not turn blind. This is about believers, mu'mins. They do not turn deaf and blind, but they do. They do not care. When contradict the verses of the Quran, contradict the religion they inherited from their ancestors, and they follow it blindly, when contradicts, they, without hesitation, they choose their ancestors' religion, their scholars which they idolize. اتخذوا أحبارهم ورهبانهم أربابا من دون الله والمسيح ابن مريم. They have attained, they have gotten their religious scholars and clergymen as Rab, as lords, and Masih ibn Maryam, Jesus. And this is description. And right now, Sunnis, they have exactly like Christians, their religious scholars and clergymen is their Lord, because they can make prohibitions in the name of God. They can make any lies in the name of God without question, they follow, and means their Lord. They forgot about God. And then also Muhammad, they idolize Muhammad in many ways. In fact, sometimes more than Jesus. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Next time, inshallah, if you want, join us. We will have, inshallah, discuss the Code 19. The importance of Code 19 is this. One is, it imposes on us rational thinking. Mathematics is universal language of the world, the universe. And therefore, when you start thinking mathematically, then you will create aversion. You will have aversion against distortions, contradictions, superstitions. If you know mathematics, if you accept mathematics, you will never accept, for example, Trinity. 1 + 1 + 1 = 1. Well, contradicts logic and reasoning. God at the same time cannot be God, the creator, uncreated, cannot be at the same time a created human being. Creator, uncreated, and created. Both of them cannot be same. They are contradiction, logical contradiction. But look at Christians, therefore they have problem with mathematics in that regard. And the same with Islam. And when you start thinking rationally, when you learn how to think rationally, then Sunni dogmas, Shiite dogmas, they are exposed. And second, your faith is turned to knowledge. You know that there is God. You know that the Quran is word of God. You know it beyond doubt because you have extraordinary evidence. And three, you eliminate the intercessors or the third parties between you and God, like clergyman, imam, ayatullah, this guy, that guy, or pope, all of them, the priest, all of them, you and God, because God says so. God says, I am closer to you than your jugular vein. Pray to me, I am close to you. I accept prayers. And I am the teacher of the Quran. Ar-Rahman allama al-Quran. I cannot teach you the Quran. I have talked to many people about the Quran. They didn't get even a single word. But some people, they listen or don't listen on their own. They learn about the Quran. Because God is the teacher of the Quran. It takes some time and patience. You don't need to rush. Okay, nice talking to you, everyone. Peace. I'm going to leave. I want to go under 1 hour. Please, next week, come in. I am sorry, Hakan, you came a little bit late. And those who did not talk today, next time, ask me to cut it short and